Hey guys, welcome to another brand new video. Now this video is actually somewhat a little bit more on the crazy side right now because right now a pretty big and major game that although it did come out quite a bit ago is actually now being completely revoked. People are losing access to their game and people are literally rioting right now on the fact of that these big game companies are removing games that people have already bought to basically for no reason. So people are very upset right now. We're going to go talk about this and cover up the news because I kind of feel like this is one of those videos that should be highlighted and talked about. So if you guys are kind of curious from what we're talking about over here, The Crew, which was owned and made by Ubisoft, has recently just gone, basically took out their servers, took out the online support for it, and I don't want to say that's okay in the gaming sphere, mainly because I would rather the game stay up as long as possible, especially if you're a bigger company. But at the same time, I can kind of somewhat justify, hey, the game's been out for 10 years, the player base is really small, we just get rid of the servers, we save some money, it's not worth it for us as a company. I can understand them just doing that at the base level. But everything is actually getting a lot worse. So as of right now, The Crew is complete, basically, if you bought the game, you lost the game. It's being revoked. It's gone. And we're going to go talk about this now, so subscribe if you guys want to, Twitter, Twitch room down below, and well, let's just discuss it. So right now we're seeing a lot of reports, people calling out tweets and everything over here that, well, the game is gone. They're saying, I'm getting reports that people are having The Crew, so the game itself. There was also a Crew 2, I think this is only for Crew 1. This game was actually revoked on people's accounts on the Ubisoft Connect. They're saying, I'm not sure it even matters since they made it inoperable anyway, but many in Europe seem to think this is illegal. Maybe it doesn't change their plans, though. So basically what happened, like I said, is they took the online servers gone. So you can't play the game in that regard. It's gonzo. But once again, these accounts are literally being impacted by these because the all-around account is actually gone. They're saying you no longer have access to this game. Why not check the store to pursue your adventures? So let alone on the fact that, that's probably one of the most insulting things I've ever seen, is that they will literally go and take the game away from you and then say, hey, you don't own this anymore. You spent money on this game? Yeah, good joke. You went and bought this game? You like the game? Yeah, good joke. But you could buy some other shit if you want. So I don't usually swear, but it's kind of this is a frustrating video. It's like, hey, we'll just, it's like you went to I don't know, McDonald's. You bought a McChicken. And then they're like, hey, you can't have this McChicken anymore, but you can have this burger. Granted, there is a few caveats to it because it's many years later and server issues, whatever. I get that. Don't worry, I'm not dissuading that. But just the idea that you bought the game at a certain point and you lost it. It's kind of I'm trying to think of a better metaphor because I don't think a food example is the best one. It's let's say you go and I don't know, bought concert tickets at some point. Maybe for lifetime tickets. How about that? And then for some odd reason, 8 years after the fact, you get an email saying, hey, you can no longer, you're not like a Chicago Bears, you don't have your lifetime ticket anymore. That sucks. And then someone else bought your tickets. Even though you paid extra money for it, you already bought it, you owned it, you thought you'd be good. These are probably not the best metaphors, but hopefully you guys can get the gist I'm going for. Now, I do want to say it makes sense. Ubisoft owns the game. They can kind of have the final say, but that's why people are getting even more upset. Because you could have maybe kept the game single player, maybe kept it so people can maybe host their own private servers, or whatever it might be. So maybe something like a server hosting company would be like, yeah, sure, we have extra data centers right now. We'll host it for free for the community or charge it, whatever. I mean, it's their IP. I understand why you can't do that. But people are very, very upset. Very, very upset. It's kind of crazy because even look through the comments, one person's like, next time before spending cash on an online-only game, take the time to read the terms where you're paying for the access while the game is live. You never owned it. You only license access. Not the first time like this. Quit whining so much. Which is kind of a crazy response. This guy, I get, you're this is one of those people that are technically right. But you're just kind of an asshole at the end of the day. You can see, you can have a little bit more compassion for folks. But it does, they're right, though. When it comes to these types of things, this is why game preservation has always been kind of a big topic on my channel. Mainly because you have a game like The Crew. You lost money. Now, granted, even the person who's complaining about the tweets are saying they last played it from July 1st of 2018, and the game is pretty much inaccessible and not even fun in the first place. So, I want to keep on saying, I understand the Ubisoft of why. But it doesn't go and defeat the purpose of anyone who did spend money on it lost access 100% to it. Now, there's, the same boat. I've had some old school games on my GameCube, my PS2, my PS3, and I will probably never play them. And they may be offline or may have a chance to have access to it, but I do own the game, physically. I have a physical copy, which is why it's nice to have these things working. Pure online-only games, such as a Game Pass, streaming, Ubisoft, online data centers, such as Steam or whatever, it is technically true. You are technically just having a rough license usage for it as long as they have access to it. A good example is I believe it was PlayStation, where they actually had old school movies and TV shows that they bought on the PlayStation Network, and then as soon as they lost the licensing rights themselves, anyone who even literally spent money and bought those different types of like media lost it forever. And this is why it's a big issue. Now, granted, I would say most of these cases, like this is like a very old game, so it's not like the idea of the game itself, like the game itself is like the big issue. It's more of the idea that's rough and the concern of kind of like highlighting that this can and most likely will be an issue in the future, especially if more things go into streaming and especially if more things go to like say Game Passes or whatever it might be, PS Plus, etc. Like you want to own the game itself, not just the license or the rights to play it. You want to physically own the game as a whole. And this is the perfect example is that some people did still like the game. Now, granted, I'm not one of those people, so I can't like speak on their behalf, but there was people, there was subreddits, there was a community who enjoyed the game. It was also sad the game were going offline. And we're seeing a lot of different tweets. Like we're seeing these types of messages over here of someone playing the game last on July 16th of 2023. And people are saying like they're just upset. I understand delisting it and turning its servers offline, but removing a product that I legally purchased and without anything in return is ridiculous. Some people saying so theft, basically. One could say Grand Theft Auto. My copy of The Crew is from UBI 30, hasn't been remote. And then apparently this is also, some people are also saying like the mods are also now trying to hide this. Because I did go and see another separate thread that was making notice over here from The Crew. And look, you see, Ubisoft is now revoking license from The Crew 2 days ago. And everything got deleted. The post got locked from the subreddit. This post has been removed by the moderators of r/The Crew. Every single comment of people calling this out has been deleted. And I mean, like, this is horrible because people are upset. Like, once again, for me personally, this is not a big issue. Like, I did play The Crew. I enjoyed it. It was actually a cool game. But at the end of the day, like, it's like, whatever. Like, I'm not going to play the game. But for the people who care about the game, this is a big deal because people who spent their money lost their money. The people who had the expectation of, I'm going to buy this game, I'm going to be able to go play it for the next 50 years, they lost it. Now, once again, I do want to say there's always that one, well, actually, that one guy. But at the end of the day, like, it's sad. Like, people are losing their stuff with no recourse, and basically when they go to the page to see if they can still play the game, it's like, hey, go buy more stuff on our store. Like, I would be very personally insulted if I was like, hey, I'm in the mood to play The Crew. Why can I not find the game on my like Ubisoft account? Oh, hey, it's gone? Why is it gone? Like, not everyone's always up to date on social media or on Reddit or looking at these, like, you know, tweets or articles or whatever, and this is going to make someone sad. And I'm sure people already are upset too as well. Like people are like, you guys can see in the comments too. And people are also saying like Ubisoft are reaching another low. They're doing what they can to make sure people won't buy their idea of a wonderful all digital future. This is the worst license revoking since UGD. I have no idea what that is. If the story gets locked today, the mods are actively supporting destruction of video games and supporting Ubisoft's decision. Absolute lowest of the lows. I saw this coming a while ago, so I stopped buying their ridiculously high-priced games. Pricing a game to more than $100 is crazy. How is this working with Steam? It's against service agreements too as well. And the big issue is that even if you own it on Steam, it's connected with Uplay. So basically the game is like in your Steam library. So Steam is doing fine, but Ubisoft took them out. And people are just really bad. Like this guy actually has kind of been a little bit of a bad like past few weeks too as well for Ubisoft, where it seems like all their vibes are not there. And people are just saying like, yeah, like, hey, like here's just a lot of reports now getting attention that they're delisting the game. They shut down the servers on the 31st too as well. And because of this all like stuff too, like it's not there anymore. Now, granted, this was a multiplayer-based game, so it is somewhat understandable. So I keep on trying to say I get like why the decision idea and the purpose and everything with it. I understand that. I get that. I vibe that. But when it comes to all these, like it's just sad because people wasted their money. I don't know, I'm kind of like at this point, like you guys kind of probably got the gist of it. So I want to hear your thoughts on everything down below. It stinks. I don't like this. Game preservation matters a whole lot more. And while this is like, once again, it's been like 10 years. It's been a long time. There is a Crew 2 as well. Like it's somewhat understandable. I just don't like what the fact that this even happened in the first place, and sometimes the line has to kind of be drawn. So I might be a hot take, who knows? Give me your thoughts and comments on everything down below. We do have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below in case you guys like to go and follow, and I appreciate y'all so much for watching in the first place, and leave a like or a dislike if you guys want to as well.